Hey guys, Tim here with Geekedupgaming. Here to show you another review, and today we're reviewing Castle Panic. Now we just bought this at the last Gen Con 2013 here in Indianapolis, my hometown, and got it signed by the creator, and it's an Origins Award nominee. So let's go ahead and show you the box. Open up the box, and we're going to show you the contents. So here we got the box, and I think the box looks amazing, and it really incorporates with the pieces in the game. It's got the, this is actually what you see on the back of the little pieces for the monsters, is the black imaging. So I think they did really good on the outside of this, and then this is just a signature up here, this little red mark, if you guys can see that, of the game creator. And it's got the badges of 2011 Traditional Games 100, and then it also has an Origins Award nominee. It's a pretty cool game. It's good for all ages. This says 10 and up. I think you could probably have even younger kids play it. It's definitely a family-oriented game. You all work together. It's a true co-op type game. It's not, hey, you want to play a game with me, you end up playing against someone. You truly do play with that person. We did a written review of this a while back before I got all my equipment, so now we're able to do a real review the way I wanted to do it, and pretty excited. I got it at the last Gen Con here in Indianapolis, my hometown, and we've been playing it, ever since we got it. It was actually the girlfriend, she saw it, and I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to get it. Then we played it, and it's really cool. It's a tower defense type game. Your castle's in the center, you got monsters coming from all angles, and then sometimes they're coming from that one angle and you're getting ready to play a card, and they just completely go in a rotation and rotate to the next, they'll be right here, and then they'll rotate over, and then the cards you had aren't going to do you any good anymore. But enough about that. We'll get into more detail about that stuff later. I'm just so excited about telling you guys that I'm just jumping on to the next stuff. But let's go ahead and open this up and see what we've got inside. So here's the rule book, and they didn't put a big piece of artwork on there because they already had it right here on the box. And the first time I looked at this, I thought maybe the front cover ripped off of it, but no, this is the front cover. They went straight into the rule book, no extra artwork or anything on the front. They just got down to business and gave you an introduction. They gave you your objective, and then about the game pieces and everything else, and then they show you like a sample of the board, how to lay it out, stuff like that. The rule book is really easy to read. I don't even think we read the whole thing and we understood how to play it. We also did have a tutorial at Gen Con, so it might have helped us a little bit. So I mean, if you haven't played this type of a game before, a castle defense, this is definitely a game to start with on that type of a game. We also have the expansion, but we'll show that to you guys later in another review. Right now I just want to focus on the base model, and so that's the rule book. So let's go to this game board, and this game board is actually kind of big, so I'm gonna have to scoot back real quick and fold this. I mean, it's not like monstrous or anything, but it's a decent size. Like right there, I can only fit half of it in my camera. So there's the one half. You've got like the rocky area, and then here's some greenery, and then I'll show you the other half, which greenery, and then I guess this is kind of like a swamp murky area, but there's only three. There's blue, green, red, and we'll show you the whole thing in the gameplay part of it. So don't think I'm not going to show you all of that. We'll get to it. And then the game pieces, I'll show those to you in a minute. It comes with 6 order of play cards, and that's kind of nice. I mean, it's on the board, but if you want a personal little card, you can, put it off to the side with your deck that you start with, and do that. These are for the expansion. Let me get those out of there. Then we have the deck, and that's a pretty good sized deck, and it does run out, so you'll just rotate through, especially if you're playing I'd say 4 to 5 people. You'll probably go through this a couple times as long as you're surviving. And they got some pretty cool cards in here. Like you got your swordsmans, and you notice the blue little icons around the edges. That's going to show you that that's for a blue swordsman. So it doesn't say blue swordsman, but it shows you. And then like this one, this is any color because it's got the red, blue, and green on it. And then we also have like draw 2 cards, a fortify wall, stuff like that. And you'll see all these during our little gameplay that we'll probably do that tutorial. This was really cool. I like this. And it comes with like little castle pieces. You know, so you kind of set up your castle on top of the thing. So you'll have your, I'm sorry, this is the tower that you're trying to defend. And then you have your wall. So your wall will sit in front of the tower, and we'll show you all that when we go to set it up and do the setups and stuff. And then there's your tar, which that's going to stop a opponent from moving for 1 turn. And then you have fortify wall. That's kind of cool. These are just cutouts, and then when you put them on your wall, they just hang right there on the wall. And then when this gets hit, it takes that out instead of the wall. So that's kind of cool. And then we've also got all the little game pieces, which is a lot of monsters in here. There's boss monsters, like you got the Goblin King, and he's got a special effect which is on the board. We'll explain all that on how he works and everything in the gameplay. But like the little gold markers, that's how you know he's a boss. So when you see those gold markers, you'll look down at the corner of your board and see what's going on. Now when I told you that they move clockwise or counterclockwise, that's these icons. That's going to make them shift to a different color, so the cards that you may have in your hand you thought were going to help you, and then this pops up. Then you're completely just out of the game. Not out of the game, but then you got to re and go do it again. Then you got your like goblins. And you know, there's a lot of monsters here. I'm not going to go through all of these to show you, but just to get an idea, these are all the monsters and the action tokens that are going to change how the game plays. And then there's like these. I hate when these pop up. Anything that's plagued. This one says plagued swordsman, so anybody that's got a swordsman of any color, even if it's any color, they are going to disappear from gameplay. I mean, get discarded. I'm sorry. So these are this is the contents of the game on the base model. So we'll go ahead and show you how to set it up and do a little gameplay playthrough. Okay, so here we have the game set up, and the rule book will tell you what monsters you start out with, but you'll start out with all 6 spaces taken up. And this is the pile of monsters. This is all of them. Once you go through these, you've beat the game, and there's quite a few pieces here. Not all of them are monsters, but all of them will affect the gameplay. We have our deck here. We've got our 2 fortified tokens, which are reusable. They're not just 2 and then and then we have our tar, which is also reusable once we get the card. And then we have a D6, just normal die. And if you're playing alone, you're going to draw up to, I think it's 8 cards. Usually I play a 2-player, and for a 2-player, you're going to draw 6 cards for each player, and then 3 to 5 players, you do 5 cards, and then 6 players, you're going to only do 4 cards. And it says in your hand, but how we play it, I'm going to move these guys over here, is that you'll have your 3, 4, 5, 6. So, 7, 8. Okay, so here's how we play it, because it is a co-op game, and you can let other players see what you got. It's not a big deal. And then that way you can all work together and see what each other have, and can help each other out. So what we're going to go ahead and do is move these monsters up. And how you can keep track of the health of the monsters is like this guy's a troll. He's got 3. And then once he gets hit, he goes to 2. So then that 3 is going to be pointing towards the castle. Now when he gets hit, you rotate it. And then the 2 will be pointed to the castle. And that's how you keep track of the health on these guys. Now, you can either just look right here and do your order of play, or you can use these cards. Either way, whatever you want to do, you can have one sitting out in front of you. Usually it's easier to use the cards when there's 6 people because not everybody can see the board quite as well as the other players can see it. But here's our setup. We got all of our monsters. We got our walls set up and our tower in the center that we are defending. And I'll go ahead and just show you guys a couple of the turns, and we'll go on. Okay, so like I've got 2 goblins in the green over here as an archer, and I have a green archer. So I'm going to use this green archer on one of these goblins, and assuming that he's only at 1 point, he will die and go back to the box. So he's gone. This card gets discarded. And then that's it. Now you can play as many cards as you can in the first turn. Like now I have a blue archer. And I have a goblin in the blue area. Right here. So now he goes back to the box. He's dead. I could use... I don't have anything else, so I can't... I could have discarded, but I didn't because I'll probably use everything later. Trade cards, which is also optional, but I'm not playing with anyone, I'm by myself. And so I just went ahead and played cards. Now it's move monsters. So all the monsters are going to move 1 space or 1 ring to the center towards the castle. And then you draw 2 tokens out of the pile. Now you can just you can flip them over and see which one's which, and then roll and see where you want to put it. But we just like to roll. So it's 4, so it's going to go over here. The first is going to go over here in the 4 space. Okay, this is a boulder. And how boulders work is it's going to take out everything in its path until it hits a wall. So it took out this goblin. He goes back to the box. So it's going to keep rolling, and it dies. It goes away, but it took a wall out. Now these are rebuildable when if I can get some brick and some mortar, which I don't have right now. So that was the first monster I drew, and this one also goes to 4. So I got another troll with 3 hit points. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw up now that I'm on a new turn. I have 6 cards, so we'll draw back up, and now we're at 8 again. Oh, and all I have is swordsman. Okay. Well, actually I've got a red knight and a blue knight. 2 blue knights. Okay. So we're gonna use this red knight. That's gonna knock this orc down to 1. So he stays there and just gets knocked down to 1. But that I have to discard this knight. And then I'm gonna use, I'm gonna not hit him since he's got 2 points and this guy has 3. I'm gonna knock him down to 2. So now they both have 2 health. Now I'm gonna go for that guy in the blue ring over there as a blue knight. And I have 2 blue knights. So I'm gonna hit these, take these 2 blue knights, discard them. And the reason I did that is because this guy has 2 health points. So I hit him twice, he's dead, back to the box. Now, I will move the monsters. draw 2 new monsters out of the pile. And we will roll for them. So we got a 3. Okay, so this is a boss token. It's got the gold and the numbers like I was talking about. And what it'll do is, this is a troll mage. You'll just go over here on the board and it'll say troll mage, and it says roll the die and place the troll mage in the forest, which did that. I do that for all of them. Then move all monsters on the board, including the troll mage, 1 ring closer to the castle, or 1 space clockwise if they are in the castle ring. Okay, so what's going to happen is this guy moves up, this guy moves up, and this guy, it can't move up because there's a wall there, but he takes a hit to 1 and he takes a hit down to 1 because they ran into my walls, and now my walls are gone. So I'm going to put those there in case I can be able to rebuild them. So that was my first monster, 4. Okay, got another troll, so we're going to put him out in the 4. And then we're going to go ahead and draw up. I've got 5 characters, so 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my, it's a new turn, so I'm going to take my brick and my mortar. I'm going to discard those. And I'm going to build a wall. I'm going to build it right there. So now, what I'm going to do is take my red swordsman, and I'm going to kill him. I'm going to take my any color swordsman, and these any color swordsmen, the archers, heroes, they'll have all 3 colors on their icon. And so I'm going to take the swordsman, any color, and knock him out because he's only got 1 health left. So it looked like it was going to be really bad, but it turned out that I could get those guys out of there. So that was my move. So I'll move my monsters all up 1, 1, up 1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the missing card. And that's going to allow me to not have to draw 2 monsters out of the deck right now. Which, I probably should have saved the card, but I'm going to go ahead and just use it now because I've got that monster boss out there. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I got 2 red archers, any color hero, a blue swordsman, and a red knight. Okay. Well, I'm going to use my green swordsman to knock this troll down to 2. So he is discarded. I'm going to go ahead and use my green knight on him. Knocks him down to 2. And that is all I can do. So we're going to move our monsters. Now, since there's no wall here, this guy is going to hit my tower. Go down to 1. I lose my tower. Now, if I don't get him hit, and there's not a lot of cards that I can use on a guy that's inside the castle, so I'm hoping to get lucky to be able to hit the guy inside the castle. But if I don't, he doesn't have to knock these walls out. He just starts moving counterclockwise. I'm sorry, clockwise. They'll actually go clockwise. You can play counterclockwise if you want. I guess it doesn't really matter. But as long as he's going the same direction, however you started it when he got in there. So if you started clockwise, continue clockwise. If you go counter, then continue counter. So I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that yet. I have to draw my 2 new monsters. And then roll the dice. 3 on the first one. Okay, so all the monsters in the green move. So he moves over, and even though he's going into blue, he was still a green character. So that loses my other tower. And then he moves up, and this guy moves up. And then we'll see what our next one is. A 1. Ooh, giant boulder on 1. So this 1, giant boulder, Go right into the tower. So I lost another tower. Now what this boulder will do is it will stop there because it hit my tower. But if this came through there and there was nothing there, no tower to stop it, it'd go right through into that troll and take him out. Because it's in the line of path, so it would go all the way across the board and hit everything if there's no walls or towers to hit. Okay, now it's a new turn, so I can draw up. So I'm going to draw a blue knight and a blue archer. I don't have anyone in the blue. I do have a guy in the blue, but he's inside the castle ring, so I can't hit him right now. So I need a card that's going to let me do that, but as of right now I don't have that card. Actually, that's not true. Oh, it is true. The any color hero, you can use them in any ring as an archer, knight, or swordsman ring. That's the hero. And if it's a red hero, then you can use it any ring in the red, but this is a any color hero, so he's usable in any ring and any color. But he is not usable inside that castle ring. And if they are able to use it inside the castle ring, they'll have a little castle icon on the card. So right now, I can't do anything to any of these guys. Actually, I'll go ahead and use my any color hero and hit this guy for 1. So that at least gets 1 less health on that guy. And what else? That's it. So we'll go ahead and draw 2 new monsters. Well, these guys gotta move up. So I lose this wall. He goes down to 1. And then he comes up 1. He comes around 1. Now I lost that tower. So it's kind of nice that I'm losing, so I can actually show you everything that goes on inside the towers, or inside the ring. Now this space is empty, but he does still go and stop at that space. He doesn't just continue into that next tower. So I'm gonna draw 1 card. I got a fortify wall. Well, it's kind of too late that I get a fortify wall when there is someone already inside my ring. So that didn't do me any good. I'm gonna go ahead and try to discard my blue archer, my blue swordsman, and blue knight, and then that lets me redraw 3 cards. Okay, now I'm going to play this card, and it's draw 2 cards. Play this card to add 2 cards to your hand, even if it exceeds normal hand size. So we'll go ahead and play that. I thought that was kind of cool that they did like a little shield, like medieval times, but then put 2 cards in the paws of the lion. So draw 2 cards, and it still did not help me at all. So what's going to happen is, since I don't have any play cards, I'll go ahead and play this card just to show you how it works. This is a fortify wall, and you'll pick your little fortify, and instead of maybe the monster hitting the wall and disappearing, you'll have a fortify here. So if a monster hits that fortify, they'll lose that health but not take your wall, they'll just take that fortification away. So now we're to move monsters. This monster's gonna come in here, take that tower, this one's gonna come in here, this one's gonna scoot over. Now I've only got 1 tower left and 3 monsters in there, and one of them's a boss. So most likely I'm not gonna be able to do anything to try to stop this guy. So, and I can't draw for the new turn. We're at 8, so let's go ahead and grab these 2. Number 2. Okay, so this is the Goblin King. He's going right here in 2, and he's only a 2 health, 2 hit character. Put him here. Now the Goblin King, he is a boss, so roll a die and place 3 Goblin King. Place a Goblin King in the forest. Then draw and resolve 3 more monster tokens. So let me go ahead and do the one that I'm supposed to already do. 6. All monsters move counterclockwise. Okay, so since that happens, this troll mage runs into my tower. Tower goes away, he scoots over, So it doesn't matter now that, since he comes out the same time that this came out, you're not going to move him counterclockwise because he's in the forest. You can play it that way if you want, where he moves counterclockwise, since he's already out there before this pawn, or before that piece. So it's over. Doesn't really matter, but I'll go ahead and put these 3 guys out here. So we've got a goblin on 2, an orc on 1, and a troll on 1. So that was it. That I actually did a complete game all the way through. And I'm glad that I lost so I could show you guys how the tower disappears at this hit. And I did get to show you how to rebuild one of the walls. Now the towers you don't rebuild, you can only rebuild the walls. And it's a really fun game. It could be quick just like this one was, or it could take a while and you know you'll have to get through all these pieces, so that's how long it'll take. And it is beatable on 1 player. It almost seems like it's, I don't want to say impossible, but difficult because you're by yourself and you've only got so many cards. You can't trade with someone, and instead of having 12 cards on the table with your partner and you, and at least being able to trade 1 card, you've only got your cards. So this is our little playthrough, and we'll go ahead and take you out to tell you what we think about the game and how we feel how it is, and we would like it if you guys would leave us some feedback on what you think about the game if you've played it, or what you think about the review. Alright, so let's go ahead and head on over to the conclusion. So you guys just saw us play through it, or saw me play through it. Sorry, I usually say us because I'm usually playing 2 or more people with this. This game is an absolute perfect game for families, solo, even a big group of people, up to 6 people. I mean, that's a pretty decent size. Have a whole full table of people playing, and it's a lot of fun. I like to play the games from Fireside Games. I like to play their Bears dice game, and I like to play this game, and I haven't got to Bloodsuckers yet, but I'm hoping that maybe I can play that here sometime soon. This game's not brand new. I mean, it is at least 2 years old that I know of because of the 2011 stamp on it. But we came across it just at Gen Con 2013, and the guys that were there that were describing the game and showing it to us did a really good job. And that's how we really learned the game. I didn't even have to read the rule book because they were so good at explaining it. And hopefully I explained it good enough that you guys don't have to read the rule book either. Basically everything I showed you, you just read the cards, do what they say, and just make sure that each card is in the right ring, and it's pretty simple. And I think this is a good game for kids, teenagers, adults. I really like the artwork, that it's not serious, but it's not cartoony either. And you got a decent amount of cards. You've got the little fortification things. I like that everything was a cardboard punch-out type deal. And you got the little stands, and you got like a little bit of an actual place to play in. Like you're not really playing in it like an RPG dungeon with miniatures or anything, but it's just kind of nice that you're actually having pieces move on a board, on a platform, type of deal like that. And I think that's what makes the game fun, because the pieces are moving, and they're not always just moving forward, but you can play a card that makes them move back. You can play, there could be a token that pops up that you saw that moves everything clockwise, and that gave me one less turn. And unfortunately that one less turn was that it took my tower away, which the 3 monsters in there. I wasn't getting out of that mess anyway. You know, I was pretty much a sitting duck, and that was it. So I hope you guys liked the review. We're going to bring you a lot more. We're getting ready to do the expansion to this, but I wanted to focus on the base set. I do have the expansion, so watch for our expansion preview of Castle Panic, and it's the Wizard's Tower, and we'll be bringing that to you really soon. My name's Tim of Geeked Up Gaming. Check us out on Twitter at geekedupgaming1 or facebook.com/geekedupgaming1, or you can shoot us an email, see what you think, tell us what you think about us, and at geekedupgaming@yahoo.com, or you can leave us a comment on this video or any of our other videos. I think we're about 18 videos now, so which I'd like to boost that number a little bit more. And if you can, tell your friends, neighbors, whoever, guy on the street, hey, check us out. Really appreciate it. Check out some of the Kickstarters that we've done, we're helping with. Right now, Thrashcar's got about 6 days left, so if you guys want to go on there, they're fully funded. They're just going for stretch goals now. And alright, so hope you guys enjoyed. This is Castle Panic by Fireside Games. Go ahead and check out firesidegames.com. They also got their game Bears and Bloodsuckers on there. And just tell us what you think in the comment box. Alright.